Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's video. We're going to be watching Game of Thrones Season 5, Episode 3. We're moving right along in the show. I'm still enjoying it. I put off filming this until Monday just because I wanted to make sure I gave it my full attention and I had energy. I apologize for last week's episode. I don't think it was necessarily terrible reaction, but I was very tired. And I want to make sure I have energy to react. Couple comments from last week. UNN, greatly appreciate your feedback about the dragon coming back in Daenerys' vulnerability. You know, shows the special connection between dragons and Targaryen. And just reiterated, you know, it's not easy to rule, which I agree for sure. I also mentioned the Faceless Man, Jaqen H'ghar. I probably butchered his name, sorry. But Faceless Men, that would be so cool to be a Faceless Man. You know what I mean? Like, how cool would that be? I'm excited to learn more about him as well as Arya and see what happens with them. And then Robert just mentioned, you know, Daenerys starts to make mistakes. Ruling is not easy, and she's not up to the task yet. I thought that was good as well. It makes sense. And, I mean, she could have made a lot worse mistakes, you know. I don't know. She's trying. You can tell she's really trying to do a good job. So, you know, I can't judge her too harshly. You know, it's not like I would be this perfect ruler or something if I had her job. So, but yeah, I'm excited to see what this episode will bring. I think this season's been good so far. I've been enjoying it. I don't really have any complaints, about the show. I mean, obviously we've talked about things in the past, but it's keeping my interest. I'm excited to come back each week. Sometimes I want to just power through them and watch them all at once, but then there's a part of me too that I'm like, I need space in between. So one a week is plenty for me. But yeah, let's get right into it, folks. Hopefully you're excited, and here we go. Here we go. Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones. Wow. Sorry. All right.
Let us. All men must serve. Faceless men most of all.
I want to serve.
Aegon wants to serve herself. Here we serve the many-faced god to serve well. Aegon must become no one.
Which one's the many-faced god? I see the stranger. I see the drowned god. I see the wayward face.
There is only one god. Aegon knows his name. And all men know his gift.
I'm not sure I'm following. There's only one god, and the girl knows his name. Is he the faceless god? Surely not. I mean, by the comments that I was reading, it sounds like he's a faceless man, so he serves the faceless god. I'm really tempted to Google the faceless god, but I don't want spoilers, so maybe I just need to keep watching and I'll learn when Arya learns. But if she already knows his name, the faceless god, it's very intriguing. And it's one of those things too, like with the faceless god, like you literally see him change faces, this man. And so it's not like the other gods where you have faith and circumstances lead you to believe that the god is true. Like with this god, it's very obvious. You know what I'm saying? Because like, and I'm not taking my own personal beliefs into this. What I'm saying is, there's a bunch of different gods in Game of Thrones that we've come across so far. And this God is not, I mean, yeah, you have to have faith, but like you also see the results. It's kind of interesting because like when Stannis Baratheon to the fire god, or the god of light, when he, burned those leeches and said who to kill, like they did die, but one could argue that they didn't die because of the leeches. They were going to die anyways. You know what I mean? Like, but with the faceless, like you see it happen right in front of you. Like there's no question about it, I don't know, it's just interesting. We'll keep watching.
I am his, and she is mine, from this day until the end of my days.
That disapproving look. My goodness, she does not look happy. I guess she doesn't trust her and doesn't want her son marrying her, but her one son that's left.
You always told me that you liked the people there better. You said that King's Landing smelled of horse dung and sour milk.
Why are we speaking of Casterly Rock?
The way that you talked about it, I always thought that you missed it. That it was your real home.
This is my real home now, where my family lives.
I want you to be happy, Mother.
I know that. I know you do. My sweet boy.
But wouldn't you be happier in Casterly Rock?
I said, darling, surely 4 times is enough. Are you trying to set a new record? And he said, well, what is the record? I'm sure we can break it.
Oh boy. Oh boy. She does not look happy. Then again, does she ever really look happy? I mean, I guess she looked kind of happy when her brother was sentenced to death. She seemed pretty happy then, but yeah, she is something else. She is something else. And I agree with the queen, though, that mother protecting her cub. She's never going to let him go do anything, Man.
Marge agrees with you. Can we bring you anything to eat or drink? I wish we had some wine for you. It's a bit early in the day for us.
No, I can't stay.
It's early in the day for us, but I'm sure you'd love some wine, lady. Oh, man.
It's high time you married a suitable bride.
And as it happens, I found the perfect girl to solidify our hold on the North.
Oh, snap. I hope he doesn't mean Sansa. He does mean Sansa. Oh, snap. This guy is as bad as Joffrey, if not worse. Oh, no. Surely not. Really? Man, I thought better of Peter Baelish. I thought better of him. I guess I shouldn't have. My goodness. My goodness, this is not good. I hope he doesn't mean Sansa. He does, though. He clearly does. I mean, they wouldn't have cut to her if he didn't mean that. Oh, man.
Not marrying Roose Bolton. No, we'll be marrying his son and heir, Ramsay. One day he'll be Warden of the North, and you'll...
Oh, boy. Man, why Ramsay? That guy's evil. Man, why would you do this, Peter? Why would you do this? Oh, man.
Listen, You've been running all your life. Terrible things happen to your family and you weep. You sit alone in a darkened room, mourning their fates. You've been a bystander to tragedy from the day they executed your father. Stop being a bystander. Do you hear me? Stop running. There's no justice in the world. Not unless we make it. You loved your family. Avenge them.
I don't trust him. I don't think this is a good idea. I really don't. I really don't.
All except me. Sorry I had to squire for such a nasty person.
I'm not sorry. You're the best fighter I've ever seen. You beat the Hound. I'm proud to be your squire.
I'm sorry I'm always snapping at you.
If you didn't snap at me, I wouldn't learn anything.
It's a really good attitude. He's such a nice guy. He's such a nice guy. What a good attitude. And she is a good fighter. I don't like her that she took out the Hound, but I mean, she seems to have the best interest for the Starks, so it's good Sansa has somebody looking out for her. Well, that was easy.
You weren't tonight, but you were.
I'm not sure if flint and steel is really that easy. I mean, I do it myself, but wonder what he had in there. Get that going. Couple sparks and that thing was lit. Usually you want to do it with char cloth, and I mean, he had kind of a bird's nest, but I didn't see any char cloth.
I tried to run away, but Renly Baratheon took me in his arms. Don't let them see your tears, he told me. They're nasty little shits, and nasty little shits aren't worth crying over. He danced with me and none of the other boys could say a word. Renly was the king's brother, after all.
But wasn't he... Lord Tyrion said he was...
Yes, Pod, he liked men. I'm not an idiot. He didn't love me, he didn't want me. He danced with me because he was kind and didn't want to see me hurt. He saved me from being a joke. From that day until his last day. And I couldn't save him in return.
There's little love for the free folk here. You're the Lord Commander. Your decision. You have many enemies in Castle Black. Have you considered sending Alistair Thorne elsewhere? Give him command of Eastwatch by the Sea.
I heard it was best to keep your enemies close.
Whoever said that didn't have many enemies.
Interesting conversation. Very interesting. It is honorable to stick with your vows and remain Jon Snow. I think that is very honorable. And I mean, I guess I don't know. It's tough. It's tough because part of me, I'm like, man, you could be a Stark, but then there's another part of me that like, really, Stannis Baratheon could give you your name. Like that doesn't necessarily mean anything. I mean, he's claiming that he's the king, but according to at least half of the population, he's not. So I don't know. Interesting, very interesting.
The realms of men. That's what you swore to be. Now, I'm not a learned man, but the best way to help the most people might not be sitting in a frozen castle at the edge of the world. It just might mean wading in the muck, getting your boots dirty, and doing what needs to be done.
And what needs to be done?
As long as the Boltons rule the North will suffer. Just one man's opinion.
I mean, definitely take that into consideration. You know, he makes sense. He's a pretty smart guy. So is Jon Snow, though. I think they're both very smart. But, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Whose sword is that? It belongs to Arya Stark. Arya Stark's sword, Arya Stark's clothes, Arya Stark's stolen silver. A man wonders, how is it that no one came to be surrounded by Arya Stark's things?
I mean, it sucks, but she's got a good point, or he's got a good point, you know? It's like, if you're no one, you can't keep anything from your past life. You know? Arya Stark's things. Yeah. Yeah. It would suck. What I'm thinking about, guys, is like if I were to give up like everything, you know? I don't think I could. Not my cat, not my wife. The stuff wouldn't be as bad to give up. I mean, it would suck, you know, but you can always get new stuff. But the people, your family, you just can't turn around and get new. I guess some people do, but you know what I mean? Like, I don't want new family. I don't want new friends. I mean, I'm okay with new friends, but you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to get rid of everything. So it'd be hard to do. Now, I do have to say it's easier to do when your brother's dead, your mom's dead, your father's dead. I shouldn't say easier, but there's less to hold you back, I would think. So, I don't know. I figured the sword would be the hardest part to give up. Looks like she's going to, but wasn't that was a gift from her father, right? I don't know. Will the gods see through that? You know, because she didn't get rid of it. You know, hid it. Presumably, she plans to go back for it. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Open gate!
Well, that told me nothing. So it's interesting. I feel like the god's gonna know she didn't actually get rid of everything from her past life. You know, I don't know. I feel like, I mean, maybe the god doesn't see everything, but you would think, being a god, that they would just know. So I don't know. But here we are, I think, back with Sansa.
Thank you. Welcome home, Lady Stark. The North remembers.
Wow. I just Ramsay, just think of the torturous things he's done. What's he gonna do to his wife, you know? He's not a good guy. Not a good guy at all. And he's just kind of crazy. Granted, Joffrey was crazy too, but I don't know. Why is Sansa, like, poor girl? She always gets set up with the worst people. Jeez.
As you all know too well, it's long past time to dig a new latrine pit. First Builder Yarwick and I have decided to appoint a latrine captain to oversee this crucial task. Brian. Seems like a good job for a ginger. Sir Alistair. You have more experience than any other ranger at Castle Black. You proved your valor many times over while defending the wall from the wildling attack. I name you First Ranger. Lord Janis, I'm giving you command of Greyguard.
Greyguard is a ruin.
Yes, the fort is in a sorry state. Restore it as best you can. First Builder Yarwick can spare 10
I
of his...
was charged with the defense of King's Landing when you were soiling your swaddling clothes. Keep your ruin.
But, yeah, I'm glad he's sending him away. That guy hid and peed himself. He's not a warrior. He's not much help. I'm glad he's given him orders. I thought it was respectable, too, that he, named this guy here. I don't think you can see my mouse. But the First Ranger, I assume that's a good thing. I mean, it sounds good. But I think that was respectable of him. And I think that was a good move.
I will not go meekly off to freeze and die. Give it to one of the fools who cast a stone for you. I will not have it. Did you hear me, boy? I will not have it.
Are you refusing to obey my order?
You can stick your order up your bastard ass.
Take Lord Janis outside. Ollie, bring me my sword.
Cannot do this! Get your hands!
Yeah, he can do that. Yeah, he can. How dare you insult him and refuse his order? Like, yeah. First Ranger stepped aside. The commander. I mean, well, old commander. But, I mean, what are you supposed to do? Jon Snow's in charge. You have to respect him. This is a make or break moment for Jon. What kind of leader is he going to be? I mean, you got to have people who are going to listen to you, and they got to respect you. And if he lets people talk to him like that, nobody else is going to respect him. So, I think this guy was too big of a mouth that he should have kept his mouth shut and just done what he was told.
Peace, mercy! Mercy! I'll go, I will! Please. I'm afraid. I've always been afraid.
Wow. So that's the kind of leader you're going to be. I mean, wow. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Wow. I thought he wasn't going to actually do it, but at the same time, like, if he would have just stopped and said, all right, it's fine, you know, nobody would ever respect him at all. So, Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, the guy was pretty disrespectful, but that did escalate pretty quickly. We'll see what everybody else thinks of that. Okay. On to some weird sex ritual. Oh, there's butts. I probably should bleep that out. Yeah, I mean, looked like Stannis Baratheon approved. I mean, you can't let people, like, he already stopped him and said, this was an order. He gave him a chance inside where he said, this is an order. This is not a request. And he told him to take his order and stick it up his bastard's ass. I mean, you can't do that. Can't say that. So he won't be able to say that again. Don't forget to bleep out the butts, and looks like there's a little bit of boobs over here. So if you're going to show this, bleep it out.
I had assumed you'd only come here to arrest me for that incident with the High Septon.
An unacceptable way to treat the chosen representative of the gods in this world, wouldn't you say?
Hypocrisy is a boil. Lancing a boil is never pleasant. Although they could have been more careful with the blade.
I kind of like this guy. He seems very giving. The High Sparrow. Interesting guy. Fascinating. Seems to be taking care of others and trying to make things better in the world. I didn't realize that the guy was the priest that was in the brothel. That was interesting. I wonder how they found out about that. And it is interesting that they want the High Sparrow sentenced to death. I mean, did he give the orders? Does he give orders? I don't know. We'll keep watching and find out more, I guess.
High Septon's behavior was corrosive, as was his attitude. Having a man like that reside in the Sept eats away at the faith from the inside. So now he resides in the Red Keep dungeons instead. The faith and the crown are the two pillars that hold up this world. One collapses, so does the other. We must do everything necessary to protect one another.
She really put him in jail? Or in the dungeons? Interesting. I mean, that wasn't very priest-like to be at a brothel. So, but it's interesting that that's the decision she made. Huh.
Easy, friend.
Okay, well, I guess he's not dead. I wonder what he looks like, though. Still covered in a towel. He's been working on him for a while now. My goodness. And I wasn't quite understanding what the message is to Littlefinger. I mean, obviously I know Peter Baelish's Littlefinger, but was the message about the priest or something else? Like, did I miss something? I was trying to listen, and I'm watching and everything, but I just didn't pick up on that.
She's suffered enough.
I'll never hurt her. You have my word.
I've heard very little about you, which makes you quite a rare thing.
He'll never hurt her. I mean, how can a mother not love this face? I'm just kidding. I don't trust him. I don't trust him. I think, you say you'll never hurt her. I don't know. You're a bit nuts. You're a bit nuts. I don't know if I believe anything you say.
I'd like to borrow one of your birds. Cersei will expect a reply.
I'd like to read the reply.
Very interesting. I mean, I can't say I blame him for wanting to know what's going on with Peter Baelish and the Lannisters, Cersei Lannister. I don't know. It's interesting because, like, he did kill Rob Stark. He killed Rob Stark. And obviously, you know, his mother died in that same room as well. So he did kill them. And I don't necessarily hate him for it. I feel like I don't know him well enough, you know. And like he said, the Lannisters were backing him on that. So I don't know. But regardless of the past, I don't like that Sansa is there. I don't think that's good for her. Hopefully she'll be able to hold her own. But, you know, it's like going in the middle of a wasp nest or something. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, it doesn't feel right. Something feels off about it. I just, you know, her brother and mother's killer is there, and she has to curtsy to him and be respectful. Just something feels off.
I can't remember the last face I saw that wasn't yours.
It's a perfectly good face.
I'm losing my mind.
If anyone recognizes you, you lose more than that.
Look, we are thousands of miles from Westeros. What am I? One more drunk dwarf.
I like these two. It's a perfectly good face. Man, I mean, I agree that, you know, he needs to be careful and he shouldn't be necessarily seen, but they are thousands of miles away, you know. You'd think at that point that Cersei's grasp on people is going to be at least less. I mean, nobody knows where he went, you know. So at some point you got to stop hiding. I didn't even realize she was dressed up as the mother of dragons. That's funny. That is funny. Oh, look who it is. Look who it is indeed. Ignore the butt in the background.
I'm sorry, I can't.
Of course you can. You're shy.
I'm not.
Have another drink.
Gladly, but this I can't do. Believe me, no one is more shocked than I am. I hope it passes.
Poor guy. Well, not to mention he killed the last person he slept with. So, might want to have a disclaimer to those that he's going to partake with.
No need to worry. I was just... Oh. Thought you were someone else. The show's almost over. I'm sure there are girls inside who'd be happy to oblige. Made some kind of mistake. Why don't you tell me what you think you're doing and then...
Oh boy. Oh boy indeed.
I'm taking you to the Queen.
Oh snap. Dang. Alright. Well, I'm going to end it here. Wife's trying to go to sleep. I'm making too much noise. I will wrap up and let you know what I think later. Well, you made it to the end of the video. Sorry, I'm still kind of a little out of it. I actually got the flu. I've been sick. I've still been trying to work, but like yesterday, I literally slept the entire day and all night. Today, I forced myself to wake up, but I'm still kind of weak. I got to go back to work tomorrow unless I end up calling in. I'm hopeful I'm trending in the right direction. I haven't edited any videos until today. This is Sunday. I'm going to go ahead and just wait and post it Thursday, but I am hopeful to get back into the swing of things. Definitely don't want our YouTube journey to end. Thoughts on Game of Thrones? Good episode. I enjoyed rewatching it a second time. You kind of almost see a different side to Cersei in a way. One where she cares a little bit, at least about Faith. But like she said, it's because when Faith goes, the city goes, that kind of thing. So it very well could be self-interest. So it'll just be interesting to watch. Arya, man, I really like Arya. I hope her hiding the sword instead of getting rid of it doesn't prohibit or challenge her more than it needs to. I'm ready to see Arya become a badass. Not that she's already on that route, but I'm just ready to see character development for her. I think that will be pretty cool. Sansa, I feel really bad for. I mean, at least she knows what she's getting herself into this time. She didn't necessarily know that with King Joffrey. I mean, Arya kind of tried to warn her, and she just didn't listen. Sorry, like I said, I'm still a little out of it. But I do want to get back into the video editing. And so I'm starting slow, but I'm going to force myself to get through this. And we don't have to take very long either. I know it's been a longer episode, or medium length, 34 minutes or so. But anyways, Sansa, I mean, she is older now, and at least she was well aware going into this what kind of, I mean, she doesn't know that her new husband is just as bad as King Joffrey. She doesn't know that. But what she does know is her father killed her mom and her older brother. So, that being said, she at least is a little more aware of what kind of situation she's going into. I'm not really sure about Peter Baelish. I don't really know whose side he's on. I don't know if he knows whose side he's on. He's just kind of trying to play all sides kind of thing. Also, the ending. I didn't mention this because Yara was trying to sleep, but when he said he's taking him to the queen, I assume he means Cersei. I don't know, because in his mind, the real queen is oh my goodness. You know who I'm talking about. I'm sorry. Oh goodness. But I think, I don't know which version of the queen is he talking about, Does he mean the queen that he thinks is the queen, which is the mother of all dragons, or is he meaning Cersei Lannister? Because with him, it could be either one, really. It would, travel time wise, make more sense if he meant the Targaryen, Khaleesi. I'm sorry about that. I just fever brain and all that, but it would make more sense timing wise if that's where he meant he was taking him. But I don't know what that would accomplish. I just don't know. So I think he meant the Lannisters, but we'll just have to wait and see. We haven't heard from Bren in a while. Bren Stark. Last we saw was last season with the children. Didn't really get a ending to that storyline. There's still more to be had, more to learn. Jon Snow, looking back, I mean, I think, I was a little shocked he killed the guy. Killing your own men is not always the best route to go. However, with the way it was laid out and the words he said and the refusal of orders and the just disrespect it didn't really leave him with much choice but to kill him. I would put that more on the guy that died than I would on Jon Snow. Because even his dad, Ned Stark, even him, he, like, episode 1, season 1, he killed a traitor. You know, he killed a guy that ran when he shouldn't have. So I think Jon is following in his dad's footsteps as far as honor and all that. I don't think it was necessarily a bad move. If anything, it saved his face a little bit, because if he would have just said, "Oh yeah, you're fine," like, the guy would have never respected him. The guy was too far gone with his mindset. Like, he never would have gained the respect from the guy, and probably would have lost respect from a lot of other people. So I didn't feel like that was necessarily in Jon's character, but it makes sense why he would go that route, or why he kind of felt he had to. His hand was kind of forced in that situation. I don't think he would go out of his way to kill his own men for no reason. Good episode. I hope I edited out all the butts and boobs. I don't want to get banned from YouTube. I did look it up because I'm like, you guys have seen Game of Thrones, so what if there's a little bit of nudity in this? YouTube's nudity policies are pretty strict. It's kind of weirdly worded. It's like, if it's intended for sexual pleasure or something, then it's not allowed. And I've seen some videos where they've get like there's full on nudity, but it's in the weird, like, you have to dig for them. It's not just like your everyday YouTube video. And not to say I go digging for that kind of thing, but like, it was something medical related. Like, it was a doctor doing something on a naked woman. I don't know if it was birth. I don't remember. It's been a long time. But so, like, I've seen where there's things that are allowed, but I don't want a chance risking my channel. You know, we just reached 1,300 subscribers. So thank each and every one of you for that. Thank you. It's a big accomplishment. Something I didn't think it would happen this quickly. You know, it was just a little over a year ago, where we were celebrating hitting 100 subscribers, you know? So Game of Thrones, I mean, you guys knocked it out of the park. I know not everybody likes my reaction videos, and that's okay. But those of you that have stuck around, and we've been able to have real conversations, you know? Like, yeah, I'm abrasive, and I'm quick to judge the film. I would argue that I'm not quick to judge humans, but when I'm purposely reacting to something, I would say I am quick to judge. And some of you have been able to see through that, or just accept me. Even if you disagree with me, you're still getting some level of enjoyment out of watching me react. Because that's the thing, that my reaction, like, I always want to represent how I really feel, rather than what I think people want me to feel. Because even if we don't agree, at least, you know, it's genuine, and I feel like if it's genuine, it's probably more worth your time, than if I was just, you know, trying to put a face on. So yeah, I think with me being sick, I'm sorry I could bring that up. This is hard for me. This is the longest I've filmed since Monday, which was before I got sick. But I think we'll go ahead and end it there. I do think this was a good episode, though. I think this is an interesting season. It's really hard to gauge, like, favorite seasons, favorite episodes, and so I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole of trying to do that. But I do think this holds up. I think it's still Game of Thrones, what we have learned to love, or love to start with, or, you know, I think it holds up. I think season 5 is holding up, and it's intriguing and interesting, and there's still a lot to watch and a lot to learn, and I think it's building up to be another good season, which I'm excited for. So I appreciate you guys being here. Thanks for the waiting. You guys left kind comments. The reason I posted last week about the fever and stuff, I really wanted to let you know what was going on. I didn't want you to think I was just, ghosting you. I've done that in the past with streaming, where I went and started working in jail, and I was working, in my defense, I was working my biggest week, 1 week, 7 days. I worked 87 hours, 86 or 87 hours in a week. So between driving to and from the jail, working in the jail, it was 12-hour shifts, but I usually work 16-hour days. I just really had no time to make a video or a stream, to let people know what I was doing. So that's why I'm using the community posts for stuff like that. So if you ever are wondering, hey, I've not heard from this guy in a while, check out the community posts to see if I've put anything in there. I'll try to do a good job of letting you know what's going on, if I'm taking time off or if something's going on. If God forbid something happens to my cat or my parents or my wife or whatever. I mean, if something needs to be private, I'll keep it private, but I'll at the very least let you know I've had something. In this case, I don't care if I have the flu. I didn't even know I had the flu then. I just knew it was not, my body was not functioning at the level it normally does. So yeah, but I'm rambling. I will leave it there. As long as things continue improving, there should be another video next week. Yeah. Yeah. As long as I continue to get better and don't get more sick, I will hopefully continue. We'll get back to the daily videos. I've got some videos planned in my head. I haven't, filmed them or anything yet, but more to come with this channel, so stay tuned. Anyways, thanks for being patient. Thanks for caring about me, and those of you that shared that you were sick as well, I hope you're feeling better. And let's all continue to be strong together and enjoy the year 2024. I'm not letting any stupid flu make me feel down on myself. We've had a good run with this channel, and we're going to keep it up. So stay tuned. All right. I'll see you guys later. Bye.